from inception when this guy, Donald Trump, got into office, I said it's a world crisis. Okay? So whatever he does will affect the world. Now, he's affecting us directly. It's one of the things that should make us realize that it's time we stop depending on foreign aid. Okay? This thing this guy is doing there, naturally, it will affect every level of our society.
The global trade landscape is undergoing a seismic shift as U.S. President Donald Trump's administration enacts sweeping new tariffs affecting nearly 185 nations. The controversial policy, implemented via executive order and branded Liberation Day, imposes a flat 10% tariff on imports from most countries, with China exempted as part of Trump's America First foreign policy agenda. Economists warn that this protectionist measure could disrupt international commerce for years, with small island nations like St. Lucia particularly vulnerable to the economic fallout. For St. Lucia, where the majority of food products are imported primarily from the United States, the new tariffs threaten to exacerbate already rising living costs. The immediate impact is expected to manifest as a sharp increase in prices for everything from staple food items to construction materials, potentially pushing annual inflation into double digits. This comes at a time when many St. Lucian families are still recovering from previous economic shocks, including the lingering effects of the pandemic and global supply chain disruptions. Commerce Minister Emma Hippolyte addressed the nation with a sober statement, emphasizing the urgent need for agricultural self-sufficiency and urging citizens to take responsibility for growing what they eat.
Start putting your bananas that you did not eat last week. Put the plants in. Conserve your water so that you can grow your plants. The Lord has given us fertile soil in St. Lucia. We have just left it there. We have not paid attention. We've raised our children without eating what we produce in St. Lucia.
Many citizens believe St. Lucia has reached a critical juncture where dependence on the United States is no longer viable. They argue that the nation must prioritize self-sufficiency by developing its own resources and capabilities. There is a growing consensus that increased government investment and focus on strengthening the local agricultural sector could pave the way toward greater economic independence.
Imagine a lot of our food stuff actually come from the United States. So what are we going to do? Look at the level of our agriculture. In fact, I'll take the opportunity to advise the government that right now one of the things they should be doing is looking into cutting roads all through the country in every different area where farmers can have access to the lands that are in the interior of the island so that they could plant, they could do things to develop agriculture. These are the things they have to start looking at. Don't just stay on lament over Trump's situation, because Trump is doing what he wants in his country. Everybody knows Trump is a madman.
Economist Richard Peterkin shares this sentiment, advocating for the government to develop concrete strategies to support local farmers.
We can certainly do a lot better than we're doing now, which means that the government should be looking at ways and means they can assist the farmers to get into the right products, to ensure that the quality and the supply is good enough that people can feel, okay, I can make changes. Do I have to buy Pringles when there's so much banana chips and breadfruit chips and so on that are local? That's not a huge change.
He believes that with the right investments, St. Lucia can achieve a more sustainable agricultural framework. However, agriculture experts caution that the transition to greater food self-sufficiency will require significant time and investment. Chloe Dantes, NBC Prime.